You probably came to this video today thinking that SEO or search engine optimization is a totally necessary part of any digital marketing strategy. But the fact is that SEO takes a lot of time and money. I'm talking about up to possibly $1,500 a month for good SEO from a good SEO manager. Add to that there are a lot of different marketing channels out there today, and there are a lot of different ways to access your audience that you really do have to ask yourself, is it worth it? I'm here today to tell you that it is not always worth it. And I'm going to help you figure out why that might be the case for you, or why it might be more important for you to focus on SEO by going through a bunch of analytical questions to help you figure this out and make this determination for yourself. My name's Trent Kennelly. I'm a marketing strategist, and on this channel, I talk about all the things that you can do to improve your business through marketing, sales, and analytics. So if that sounds good to you and you're excited, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're into it, comment and let me know how much effort you're currently putting into SEO. If it's none, that's okay. If it's a bunch, that's okay. Maybe, I mean, it might be that you're wasting your time. We'll have to see by the end of this video. But for now, let's get started. All right, so why are we even asking this question in the first place? Well, it's because there's this myth out there, and the myth is that everybody thinks that SEO is 100% of the time vital as a digital marketing strategy. I totally disagree with this, because let's just take a step back and let's take a look at all of the marketing channels that you can possibly have. SEO is just one of them. Google is just a website. I know that it's a really big website and it's a very important one. We shouldn't discount that. But SEO at the end of the day is just a way of appearing higher in Google. We have other avenues that we can approach people. We can approach them on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube or via email or whatever. There's lots of different ways that we can find people or have them find us. And so SEO isn't always the most important thing that we need to be focusing on, because we might have stronger access through another channel. Is it always true that things are findable on Google? Yes, that's absolutely always going to be the case. You can almost always find at least one result for your search. But the problem is that we're talking here about opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the question of what I'm giving up when I decide to pursue something. So if I decide to pursue SEO, am I giving up time that I could be spending building a YouTube channel? If I decide to pursue an Instagram account, am I giving up time that I could be using developing an email list? All of these questions have to be taken into account relative to each other. So we need to ask in this situation, is SEO the best tool, or can I get better results and better access using a different marketing channel? Remember, we are small businesses. We don't have all of this access to these enormous teams of people that can do absolutely every marketing channel. You have to pick and choose. You have to consider your opportunity cost, what you're giving up to gain what you're going to gain. So just to drive that point home a little further, here is the hard truth about SEO. The big keywords that you want are almost impossible to win on. Try winning on dog, best of luck. You're never gonna get there, because the big businesses have way more resources to invest in SEO, and they've used those to really solidify their place as the top 1 or 2 ranked position on those keywords. So it's going to be really hard to unseat them, which means that it's probably more effective for you to look at smaller keywords. Smaller keywords need a lot of extra landing pages, because you can't take all of those keywords and just slap them onto one page. The reason for that is that will be identified very easily from Google as keyword stuffing, which is just taking a bunch of keywords and shoving them onto a page without any rhyme or reason, without any copy consideration or anything like that. And not only will it give you a neutral, it won't just give you a neutral, it will de-rank you, it will reduce your ranking in Google, because they're punishing you for just keyword stuffing for the benefit of the Google ranking system. So don't do that. That means you need to have good sentence structure and good sentences so that they make sense, at least as well as the Google bot can detect. And if you're going to have a lot of sentences with a lot of different keywords in them, that means you need to probably have a lot of different pages to make sure that those keywords are evenly distributed and that they always make sense. You can check out this video on copywriting and SEO to kind of get an idea of how to do this. But just to understand for the SEO side of things right now, the number of landing pages you have increases the work that you have to do on those landing pages exponentially. Even if you have the same structure from landing page to landing page, you still need to change the file names. You still need to change the alt text, which is text on the HTML side of things that adds a little bit of extra SEO. It's just some technical SEO. You have to change the copy on the page because the copy on the page likely will not match the copy from before, since these new keywords won't fit in those same holes. So it takes time to make all of those things come together and really balance perfectly. So let's even ignore keywords. We know that's really a lot of hard work. Let's talk about backlinking. Backlinking takes a lot of time, like 10 hours a week. You're either paying someone to do that or you're doing that yourself. Because at the end of the day, backlinking is cold calling or cold emailing. You're trying to reach out to people who have never heard of you before to get them to provide a link back to your site so that Google can look back at that link and say, oh, this person trusts your site, I should trust that site as well. And so it increases that trust score with Google just a little bit and helps you to get higher up in the rankings. That is a really important part of SEO that's often ignored. So let's just assume we've got those backlinks perfect. We've got those keywords perfect. We've got our website well optimized, so it loads super fast, and so that helps Google with SEO as well. Even if all of that is true, it still could be the case that the SEO traffic on your website is some of the worst converting traffic that you have of any channel that is coming into your site, so it still might not be worth it. So we really need to ask ourselves here, does this make the most sense for my business, or does it make more sense to look at another option, another channel, another opportunity, right? Let's just use two examples to kind of illustrate this a little bit. The first one is fulltimefilmmaker.com, which I've talked about before on this channel. And fulltimefilmmaker.com is a film school, and it's a film school that has been very successful through mainly YouTube and paid ads. On YouTube, he has, I think, 1 million subscribers. He has lots of following on other channels as well, but that's his big source. He also has a lot of success through doing paid ads. He has enough success on this that he really doesn't need to look at SEO. Could he do SEO? Yes, there are opportunities for filmmaking courses through SEO. But he's a small team, he has limited resources, so it doesn't necessarily make sense for him to look at SEO as a possible opportunity when paid ads are working so well and when organic social media is working extremely well for his business. Another great example is a store for left-handed supplies, which will very likely have much less social media interest in it than a filmmaking course or how to do filmmaking, but ads can still be an effective avenue. There are enough people that are searching for it that it could be a very effective way of building business through SEO. You just need to look at the keywords and see if you can find the right ones. But if you're not getting inundated with requests from social media or paid ads, then it might make sense for you to look at SEO as a possible opportunity. Okay, so how can we figure this out? We're gonna start by taking a close look at our business and asking ourselves several very directed questions. We want these questions to inform whether SEO is even necessary by looking closely at what you're doing now and how your industry more broadly is performing on these topics. So let's go ahead and jump into those questions. First, who is your customer? Understanding this question, not even talking about the SEO review, is generally very important for your business. If you don't know who they are, you can't target them at all, you can't even speak to them in the way they want to be spoken to. For the purposes of this SEO review, it's gonna help you understand what they're gonna respond best to, where they live online, what things they like to do, etc. It's best to build this out as a customer profile, an ideal customer avatar. You can check out this video for more on that, because that's gonna help you understand exactly who they are, more clearly identify that person, and more clearly identify where they are online. So it'll very easily help you understand, are they searching for Google more, or are they on social media more? That sort of stuff. Second, why do they buy from you? There are effectively two types of buyers. There's an instinctive buyer and a trust basis buyer. An instinctive buyer is making a gut feeling purchase. There's no trust involved. There's no feeling that they need to trust you in order to make this purchase. They just want to buy it and move on. In this case, they could be browsing Google and they come across you. They could be looking for something related when they find you. But in either case, SEO probably makes some sense to do here because they're gonna find your product, they're gonna buy it, and then they're gonna move on very quickly. It's gonna be a fast decision tree. Then a trust basis buyer is a buyer that needs to have a little more trust in you or your business before they make a final decision to buy from you. It typically shows up in bigger ticket items or in knowledge-based items, because these people need to feel like you know what you're talking about, or they need to at least understand your business better before they make that decision. As a result, SEO actually might be less necessary here. And the reason for that is because those initial impressions that you're making with people are probably going to be on social media or on paid ads or something like that, so that people constantly have you in front of them rather than jockeying for that position on SEO. Great example here would be, again, full-time filmmaker and Parker Walbeck, because he has a huge following on YouTube, which is what builds a lot of trust with his brand. A lot of people follow him and a lot of people listen to him, and as a result, people are more likely to trust him. But if you found him on SEO the first time and you came to his website, that might not necessarily instill trust the first time. So we need to understand that these people who are coming and need trust before they make that decision need to be exposed to your brand probably several times before they're gonna make that decision. And if SEO is the first impression, it's probably not the best impression that they could possibly have if you compare it to something like YouTube. Next, what are your traffic sources? Are you writing a blog that brings in a lot of traffic? Well, guess what? That's SEO. So if you're focusing on a specific keyword every single time, you're bringing in a bunch of different diverse searches and a bunch of different people coming from different audiences, so you're more likely to draw in sales that way. But if you're running just Facebook, organic social media, or paid ads or something like that, then yeah, SEO might be less necessary. It's really a question of where that traffic is coming from. If it's organic traffic, then that's SEO. If it's direct, that's people you've possibly been networking with who are coming directly to your site. If it's social, then that's Facebook. If it's paid, then that's either Google search ads or Facebook paid ads or something like that. So you have to look at those traffic sources and understand what is not necessarily just bringing in the most users, but what's converting the most, what's getting the best results, and then you can make that decision. Now, I want to be very clear here that I'm not talking about 1 and 0. It's not a binary approach. We're not saying if you're successful on social, ignore everything else. Try to find a balance here. If you're successful on social, and you can also be successful in SEO and grow them at the same time, that's great. If you're very successful on social and spending that extra time that you have on SEO is actually gonna reduce both in the short term, then maybe it makes more sense to keep focusing on that social until you're at a point where you can start focusing on SEO. So it's really just a question of finding a balance here based on what those traffic sources are. Next, what's converting? Right now on your site, before you do anything, what's doing the best? If it's not organic meaning SEO, you have to ask yourself why that's happening. Is it simply because you haven't focused on it? That's possible. This is a moment where you need to take some time and figure out what keywords you rank for and what your potential is. And the easiest way to do this is you pull the keywords off of your site and you look at their ranking and you look at how they actually perform, generally speaking. That sounds complicated, it's very simple. Just use the Mangoals plugin. Mangoals is a suite of SEO tools. It's really cheap and it's really fantastic. You should check that out if you get a chance. Just download that plugin, put it on Chrome, and you'll be able to pull your keywords pretty much instantly. And that allows you to do some very fast keyword research on what's actually on your page. Then I would suggest that you do a little bit of keyword research on your own to see how things are going. So just for both of these, to give you a general idea of what you're looking for as high of a search volume as possible and as low of a keyword difficulty as possible. So keyword difficulty is the calculation of how hard it's going to be to win on this keyword. So if you have a keyword difficulty of about 40 and below, that's a good thing. And then of course the search volume as high as possible. I always try to have a floor of 1,000, and then anything up from there is a good thing. So when you're doing this keyword research, I know that sounds intense. We're not gonna really get intense in our keyword research right now. Keep that surface level because you don't wanna spend hours on this just to make a final decision here. You wanna have a clear understanding of what SEO looks like from a very basic level, for some of those really high level targets, like dog, for instance, as a search term, and see if there's gonna be any easy success there or if you're gonna need to dig a little deeper. That's gonna help you to figure out whether that's gonna be able to convert or not, just based on the search volumes that are coming in and what actually is turning over. Next, which sources of traffic stick around longer? We're trying to figure out here, do my paid ads tend to have people that stay around more or less time than my organic traffic, and by how much? So if you're getting people from organic that are only staying for half a session, half a page, something like that, where the people coming in from paid ads are staying for 2 or 3 pages and they're moving further down that funnel and closer to a conversion, then it's more likely that the quality of traffic coming from paid ads is better than the quality of traffic that's coming in from organic or search, and it might just not be worth it. You can get this information very easily. If you're using the old Google Analytics, you're gonna look for your bounce rate. If your bounce rate is above 70% or so, then you can probably say that the organic traffic is not going to be very good. If you're looking at the new Google Analytics, then you want to look at engaged sessions for the same thing, okay? So that's going to help you figure out and really tamp that down. So those are the questions, but one really important point to drive home about all this is that these questions are for Google SEO, yes, but SEO is not a Google-specific phenomenon. Consider that every single platform employs some form of SEO or another. You can check out this video on LinkedIn SEO just to kind of get an idea of how it's different there, but just understand that SEO is always something that you need to understand so that you can master basically any platform that you're on. So there you go. I hope that that helped you figure this out and decide whether SEO is good for you. To me, it is truly not always necessary. If this video was helpful for you, in any case, make sure that you give it a like, comment, and let me know how much effort you're going to put into SEO. If you've put in a lot, please let me know that, and let me know how that went for you. Subscribe to my channel if you're into it, and I'll catch you in the next one.